gentlemen, we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government. Do you still think that jet fuel brought down the World Trade Center? Does anybody else see a problem here? If the government has nothing to hide, why are they so afraid to answer a few questions?
Jordan, I know you were coming on to talk about the globalists and their programs, and I don't know your view on this yet. I know you're hosting your own show every week, which is great, and it's good to see you, taking action. You've done so much over 50 years, but clearly the mega banks are against Trump. Clearly he's trying to get small jobs going. Clearly they're trying to block him and saying kill him. I'm not saying he's perfect, and if you disagree with me, tell me, because we're not a cult here. I want to know, but they are trying to destroy him. They're trying to destroy me. They're doing stuff behind the scenes. I know you've been through a lot as well that we don't want to talk about because it just adds to it. To kind of speak it out there is what they want in their whole lesser magic paradigm. But for people that don't know how the globalists operate, are we winning with the awakening is why they're panicking? Or are they just bullying because they think they're assured of victory and, their own people beating women up everywhere, banning free speech, banning books, chalkboards are being banned at colleges because someone might write something on them. I mean, this is beyond banning books. This is banning words. It shows us this cult. Who is this cult? What do they want? Where are they taking us? Jordan Maxwell.
Well, first of all, thank you, Alex, for allowing me to be on the show. Because
thank you, sir.
I've had so many problems getting on on shows, being shut down.
Well, let's just say it. You've been through a lot, and we're not going to get into the harassment, but JordanMaxwellShow.com. You finally got people behind you to protect you so you can get on air. JordanMaxwellShow.com. Go ahead.
Yes, and again, thank you for having me on. Back in 1967, I made a startling discovery. I was doing a lot of research back in the early 60s on all the isms, communism, Marxism, fascism, etc. And I came across something in 1967 in Glendale, California, in a library there that's caught my attention because I have been for many years lecturing, starting back in 1960, 61, giving lectures and talks on the secret societies in world government, religion, etc. And I was doing some research on the Soviet Union. And I come across an article in the World Book Encyclopedia, and it was talking about the Soviet Union, Russia before the revolution, etc. And then at the bottom of the page in the World Book Encyclopedia on the Soviet Union, there was a picture, actually two pictures. One was a picture of the national coat of arms of the Soviet Union. And the second was their flag, the Soviet Communist flag. And there was a little article, maybe just a couple of sentences on both pictures. And when I read the little article about the Soviet National Coat of Arms, it struck me that this was something of momentous importance, but I didn't understand what it was, but I knew instinctively this is going to be important. And so I began researching the Soviet coat of arms. It's an incredible story that, and I continue to get a lot of information coming in on this all the time. But the point being is that I talked with you quite a few years ago about my work on this one subject. And exactly, that's the symbol. And you will see the reefs of wheat around the earth and the sun rising behind the earth. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I discovered, the more I looked into this, that this was a subject which is being used by everyone in every culture of the world. Not just this particular picture, but the conceptual idea and the actual terms that were in the encyclopedia talking about this symbol, the words and the terms that are associated with this symbol for world communism is everywhere. It's in Hollywood, motion pictures, television shows, police departments, universities, children's cartoons in the morning.
What does it stand for? What is their end game? Because it looks like it's no language, Brave New World, a bunch of mindless zombies. So humanity just rolls over and dies. It appears to be some off-world extermination virus program to train us to kill ourselves.
It is a hidden symbol which dominates the entire world. It is in every country of the world. It is all over America, in our federal governments, our state governments, in our county and city emblems of our cities and counties. This is the most extraordinary story you're ever going to hear, Alex. And I know you've heard them all, but you haven't heard.
Well, let's get into it. We've talked about this a long time ago, but the audience probably doesn't know about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you and I talked about this a long time ago, and I told you then that I wanted to do a video on this subject.
That's right, and you were actually scared to even talk about it on air, but let's just get it out there.
Yeah.
We'll do a video.
It is, that's exactly right. I was frightened because I realized the significance of how big this thing really is and what it was actually saying. And so I've done finally I got a video done. I've got two videos, but I got this one on this side here is Cosmocrats. It's dealing with this subject right now, Cosmocrats. The idea is that, well, in the Bible, in Ephesians 6:1, Christians will remember that in Ephesians 6:1, let me bring it over here so you can see it.
Not of this world.
Yes, rulers of this darkness.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Now, the very word rulers of darkness implies that the darkness over this earth has rulers, people who know what they're doing.
I understand. That's what the elite believe, is they're getting off-world knowledge to control people. And whether you believe in this or not, the elites do believe in it. Jordan Maxwell, you can find the new film at jordanmaxwellshow.com. Yeah, I remember Jordan was talking years ago about making a film with me, and I just, quite frankly, I'm too busy to do it. Interesting material, really key to what the globalists believe and think. But I'm glad he's got it out. I didn't know he's coming on about this today, so I'm going to ask him right now. Can you get it at his website? I see him nodding his head, jordanmaxwellshow.com. But whether you believe in this or not, the globalists believe they're getting off-world or interdimensional communications. They believe they're building all this under orders that they'll be given eternal life by merging with machines. Now, I would tell you that 20 years ago, people laughed. I would tell you that 10 years ago in Endgame, like 9.5 years ago. And the New York Times, even last year, made fun of me, saying he believes that they're going to merge the machines and become gods. I was quoting Ray Kurzweil. Now it's all over the news, so folks don't laugh. You see it in movies, culture, kind of Avatar, like possession, voodoo, whatever, but jacking into people. Whether you believe in this or not, the elite, that's what rituals are about, is about being possessed. So I love that they always have news articles like I'm a kook when 1 billion plus Christians believe this, Catholics believe it, the Muslims believe it, every African tribe believes it, the Japanese believe it. And of course, he's never even given his secrets out from his perspective on their research. I want to see the film here as a plug for it, but we've got a short segment here, a long segment coming up, Jordan. Give us the data dump. I mean, have I kind of guessed what you're getting at? Because I've done my own research, but from your own deep research, expand on this, why people need to be aware of this.
Well, because what has really just frightened me over this entire subject is the fact that the same terms and the same emblem, symbol, and terms connected to that symbol has been used all over the earth.
No, I understand. So you were saying this even before movies like Prometheus came out. You're saying everywhere this is the key symbol. What the black sun of the Nazis? I mean, what are we getting at?
Oh, we're talking about a sunrise between two mountains. It goes back to ancient Egypt and can most likely go back even further to Hindu. But it's
sure, two stars, the sun and then another sun. That gets into the whole 2001 Lucifer being ignited.
Yes, what we generally think of as Luciferianism is a very deep subject.
It's really just alien worship, isn't it?
It's an extraordinary subject that has not really been looked at and examined fully today. But I'm telling you that there is a world of occultism already built up around us before we were born, already in government.
Sure, it's a total language. They're even taking away our basic language. We can't even understand their language, which is openly all around us.
All of it. It's everywhere. But what frightens me is the fact that all of the American presidents since I've been alive have used that symbol, have used that term that's associated with that symbol. And then when I see all over the world leaders, institutions.
Sure, so let me bring this up. What did you think of Trump's inaugural, where he said, bring God back in, bring the light back in, our birthright, human birthright, humans, the world for humans? I thought it was a major declaration against the powers of darkness.
It was, and that's why I knew. I knew with an instancy that I knew that he was going to be attacked, and I knew that he was going to have one hell of a time, because he is going up against something that has been around for thousands of years.
And let's be clear, occult just means hidden. You're an occultist because you studied the occult. You're bringing it. You say, I'm an occultist. It just means we study the hidden. It's clear watching Trump, and I know you're one of the top occult experts out there, is it not clear he knows a lot more than he's saying?
Oh, yeah. You have no idea how far deep this goes, what he's actually up against. It's so frightening when you see Hollywood making movies about this particular occult symbol, that you see it as used, the symbol and terms are used by the Communist Party, the Nazi Party, fascists throughout the world. You begin to see how this is a worldwide movement. And it's movement, from my research, I haven't seen your film yet, is it not a movement to create the end of humanity, exterminism, and the new man? That is exactly what it is. It is a well-planned, ancient symbol and an idea. And as I said in the beginning,
it's like a satanic cultural transmission for us to commit suicide.
Absolutely, and it is, and it's so obvious once you see it.
Oh, it's a world-killing, interdimensional transmission.
There's no doubt about that, because of even what the scripture says. It says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the world governors and princes of the darkness, and against spiritual wickedness in high places.
High.
This is what the world does not seem to get.
And now they got the satellites in orbit, building the machine. Whether you believe it or not, folks, this is what the elite believe. Look at Prometheus, all of it. They tell you that's their real religion. And the elite believe they're going to ascend to be the engineers. And this whole planet is just a bioweapons facility. And all of us, way off on the edge of the universe, a weapons factory, very dangerous. We'll be back. That, folks, hundreds of publications a week say shut us up. So understand, we are your champion one way or the other. And so if you just spread the articles, the videos, if you just save the articles, start your own shows, call into C-SPAN, whatever you do, get more active and more involved now. We're going to lose it all. Jordan, I promise to have you back up in the near future to do a special report just on your new film. Please send me a copy. I got blindsided by this, didn't know it was out, looks amazing. But just in a nutshell, what can you say about free speech and why they're bringing in the Islamicist and why they're trying to ban, criticizing? I mean, they have a bill they want to introduce to ban Trump having free speech. That was on CNN. I mean, they're so authoritarian. What's happening?
First of all, Alex, the two charming young ladies brought up a very important point, and that's exactly what's going on, is that there is a connection here between Hillary, Obama, and the old Soviet empire, the old Soviet concepts and ideas, because the people who financed the old Soviet empire for the Russians are the same people who are financing all of this stuff now against. Well,
it's funny you said that, because the documents are coming out that these globalists are funding Russia and the United States. It's the same corporatist line, and that's why they threatened in Foreign Affairs and in public policy publications last week to Putin. Trump's for real about ending globalism, and you're part of it. You better watch it. That was a deep threat to Putin.
Yeah, as I said, I've got something that I found a long time ago that the more I see it, the more I cannot believe how overwhelmingly in
Well, tell us the name of the two DVD film explain to us, but give us one of the big secrets right now. People will get it, but just tell us because I want to know.
Well, the most important of the two videos is called Cosmocrats, because it goes back to the word in the Greek in the Bible where it says the rulers of this darkness. Rulers of darkness in the Greek was cosmokratoros. And I came across that word many years ago, cosmokratoros, which in Greek means rulers of world darkness. But it gives us our word today, cosmocrats, because cosmos is world and krats are rulers, like democrats and plutocrats.
These world rulers.
Exactly. So we are told in the Bible that there are people who are here who are the gods of the darkness on the earth. There are people here who are making it dark purposely and deceiving the human family. And it has
And that means spiritual and physical. Have you noticed NASA says the Earth's now 30% darker because of the chemtrails?
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So the video I wanted to create many years ago, we talked about it. I finally got it done. It's not an MGM musical, but it does have.
It doesn't matter the info. I'll tell you, the cover looks amazing. Show it to TV viewers again.
Yeah, it's got extraordinary.
Well, Jordan, I'll fly you out here to be in studio and do a whole special report with it anytime you want, brother. I mean, as long as we have the funds, who knows how long we'll be here now. A lot of people are going to be celebrating.
You will be shocked when you see what I have what I have assembled here from Hollywood, from television, from presidential.
Oh yeah,
speeches.
clearly they're programming us. Clearly they're getting us ready. But I mean, bottom line, what's their end game? I mean, I'm correct. It's establish world government, exterminate the population, merge with machines.
Yes, basically, it's a well-laid plan that was explained a long time ago. There are documents that explain exactly how these people.
By the way, I didn't know your view of Trump. I didn't even know you'd seen his inaugural speech. But and then some of my private conversations, it's all about the spirit of humanity, bringing humanity back, making the world for people. And he doesn't, obviously you're talking to him. He knows he's being recorded, but he's like, we're going to be pro-people. We're going to build a world for people. Robots aren't getting the jobs, Alex. The whole thing's anti-human, and Trump gets it. And I tweeted what he was going to say in his speech before he did it. I just knew it. And then he said, we're calling God back in, light back into the world, a world for humans, a world of justice, but humans must ask for the destiny, and God will give us the providence. And that's asking for, again, what the elite are trying to block. And again, if you don't believe this, it's fine. I'm not even saying I believe it totally. I'd say what they believe. We have to ask God's free will. The devil and his fallen legions are not free will. They con, they take over, they disease you, they drug you, they manipulate you. They're the rulers of the world, God of this world right now. You got to ask God in, then you get the transmission, the discernment, all the will, the download you need to beat them, but you've got to ask for the download. Is that accurate, Jordan?
Absolutely. You have to, and you also have to be active in this. You have to be able to talk to people and show them the proof. And that's what I've done here. I've collected all the documents, the photos, the pictures, and tied all the pieces together, showing that what's happening in America and on the earth today has been planned a long time ago.
Sure. Let me ask you a selfish question. Let me ask you a selfish question here. Personally, Chris Carter contacted us and said, hey, and, well, we've talked some, but we're going to put the new X-Files is based on you. I think you're a good guy. I think you're really fighting this evil. They put it out. It's overall pretty positive, exposes the evil stuff that's going on, that the elite are combined with a, really nasty devil to try to take down humanity. And then, who knows? The show was a hit. Who knows if it even gets to go to a season. Now they have Homeland. That's another big hit where they literally admit it's me, but had me saying these things, and then I cause horrible things to happen. I need to be taken off the air. That's basically, and then Hillary's the president. And this was all being produced when they thought she'd be president months ago. So I want to selfishly, just you're a smart guy, ask you, this is on drudgereport.com today as well, what you make of this. Homeland's Alex Jones character is a lame attempt to smear InfoWars. Let's go ahead and play just one clip of they literally plagiarize what I say, but in the episode, I'm getting innocent Muslims arrested for bombings that I'm basically behind. So this is the deal. They don't only take my words, they call me fake news. They have large productions acting like me, but his name's O'Keefe.
Do they have you going?
It gets worse. It's O'Keefe. So it's Alex Jones talking, but the name's O'Keefe. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're mixing together Alex Jones and James O'Keefe because they're just trying to demonize you guys. They want the average brainless zombie that watches TV all day to think that all InfoWars listeners are terrorists.
And that we can't trust James O'Keefe and his deceptive editing.
That's right. So, I mean, but that's almost subliminal. It's just O'Keefe's there, but then it's me. It's pretty clear.
Exactly.
So again, this is how desperate they are. Here's the clip. And, of course, there's more to it than just that. There's more to the clip. There's several other clips. But
oh, Alex.
Notice he kind of looks like Stephen Bannon meets.
Yes.
So they mix that in visually as well.
Yes. Now, hold up now. Keith Olbermann's stealing your thing. So, I mean, they could turn this whole thing around and say it's him at this point. He's the resistance.
Yeah, we were always that's the thing. I mean, Jordan, I'm not on a power trip. It's the opposite. You're an old sage at this. What position do you think we're in? Because it's like the gates of hell have opened. I mean, hundreds of articles a day lying about us. False quotes, Megyn Kelly lying, playing clips. I'm talking about Hillary funding Islamicist killers in Syria. They say I'm saying she's killing kids under a pizza place. I mean, what is going on?
Well, I'm not promoting myself on this, Alex, but I'm telling you, if you see my video where I have a symbol, all of the people saying the same things from all over the world.
Sure, they're clearly part of a global cult who believes they're getting off-world information. I mean, I went back to Huxley and Wedgwood and Galton, the guys that came up with all the modern sciences in England. They all believed they were channeling off-world info. And here's the problem. They saw the double helix. They saw biometrics. They saw it. They saw it. Jordan, is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, it's only until you yourself see and people collectively see for the first time how these symbols and words are used all over the world.
Sure, then they'll see it everywhere. Then they'll understand it.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, we'll talk to you soon. I appreciate that. You know, Jordan's an awesome guy. He wanted to make that film with me, and I said, yeah, sure. And we never got around to it. I didn't know it was being a thing about the film today.
No,
but I mean, because I'm here just explaining that whether you believe the elite believe they're doing all this off-world stuff or not, they believe it, and we're under major political attack. They're trying to shut InfoWars down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. That is the platform for so many other people.
We'll be on soon.
So, I mean, what do you guys make of that?
Well, I mean, this is something that I've always said and what I believed and why I was, dedicated my life to this purpose right here, to waking people up. And I truly believe it's not just about letting people realize that the programming and turning off the television set and helping people to understand that it's the frequency that's messing with our brains, messing with our humanity, messing with our inner frequency.
Everything they're doing is to hurt us.
Yes, but see, it's not that there is off-world information coming to these people to give them the technology of control. And we are fighting against darkness.
We're on a freaking planet in the middle of space, and the elite all believe it, and they were given stuff 170 years ago that they made.
Right.
Atomic weapon equations, everything.
Right.
Like, what is going on here?
Well, here's the thing. We as human beings, we're
antennas.
We are manifestation machines. That is what we do. God created us to be
in the image of
creators.
God.
We are creators.
And we're electrochemical. Our DNA is an antenna, and we're picking up good stuff and bad stuff.
And as long as they can control our thoughts and program us and tell us what the world is supposed to look like, then we will take that information and say, yes, I agree. And
exactly. And notice we're awake.
Right.
We know what's going on to a certain level. They don't care about us. They just keep hammering, going, this new Homeland show's about Alex Jones, but he's crazy. It's not about him. And Obamacare is free, even though it's not. You know, they just keep, the message is the medium. The message is dumb you down.
Right.
They send you a dumb message on purpose.
Gentlemen, we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government. Do you still think that jet fuel brought down the World Trade Center? Does anybody else see a problem here? If the government has nothing to hide, why are they so afraid to answer a few questions? This story does not add up.